Hello guys, welcome to another build video guide where this time we're going to be showcasing the Marksman. First of all, I want to thank all of you guys for your insane amount of support, your subscriptions, your comments, your likes, your follows. It's been huge. I mean, it's been inspiring me every day to do tests and do builds because of you guys. So keep it coming, keep supporting, keep visiting the channel, keep commenting, keep smashing that subscribe button, because the more you guys do, the more motivated I get to create content for you guys and help out the community. Alright, with that being said, the Marksman rocket launchers, oh my god, it's absolutely insane, man. I love it. Absolutely awesome clear times. The boss killing just shreds. One other note, I know in my Demon Slayer video I had a broken build disclaimer, and at the end of this video I'll talk about it as well. I reached out to Wooksy. In my opinion, for the Marksman, it's a exception because of where the turrets are dropped. You have to wait for the targets to come into it, you know, and if you don't have all four of them attacking the same target, you're not going to be dealing that amount of damage. That's a fact. Also, if you don't have the oversized relic, the radius is going to be really small. It's not going to be at the full potential that it is here. So just because of these little situations, the Marksman is dealing above 5 billion damage slightly, okay, when it gets a lucky proc, but it's not overtuned or unbalanced. If Wooksy does decide to tune it down, I will update the description of the video and let you guys know. But as of right now, I think the class is in a good place compared to other classes. It's pretty good. It's meta, okay? If it was the Pally doing 6 billion, I think it'd be a little crazy. Too much, because that's consistent and you're always carrying the damage, the hammers, or the auto attacks with you. Alright guys, before we dive into the meta build, we are naming the build here Rocket Launcher. Okay? You convert the basic turrets into rocket launchers. Boom. And you get rocket launchers. Alright, alright. Let's dive into the build. So on your action bar, you want to use multi-shot turret. Builds a multi-shot turret which attacks nearby enemies and decays over time. Arrow rain. Launch a volley of arrows that hail down onto enemies, dealing damage and slow them if struck. Arrow rampage. Summons a rampage of ballistic arrows to vaporize the sharpshooter's foes. And master mechanic. Temporarily boosts the damage and attack speed of your multi-shot turrets and increases the damage done by landmines. So, for the build, we went with the trusty Pendant of Eternity for meta. We went with, well, the reason why is because of the 5+ talents. It's insane, okay? The Pendant of Eternity. We went with the Harlequin Crest with a physical damage rolled into it. Again, for the +3 talents. We went with the Torch of Shadows, +2 talents, including other stats. We went with the Meta Gun, the RT XQC 4910. Okay? This is a huge damage increase for this gun. Also has a nice life per hit, which is pretty cool on your auto attacks. Remember, life on hit only works off your auto attacks, not your abilities. We did roll the ability on it with critical strike, but you can try with various other abilities. I only went critical strike to get our crit chance up a little bit more, just to have bigger numbers. We went with the force for the chest piece. Okay, the +1 to all talents. The physical damage, huge, 46% physical damage, as well as the armor break, okay, which I'll show you here what it does. At 18, it stacks to 66% armor break on the dummy. Actually, is that? Yeah, that's right. We went with the gloves, the assassin mitts. Meta gloves across the board for many reasons. Attack speed, crit rate, crit damage. Okay, this is awesome. We went with the Belt of Skulls for the random buffs that it gives you when you kill targets, but mainly because of the huge elemental damage, flat damage, the 27% elemental damage, and the plus 4,300 to all stats. Okay, pretty massive. The buff only here procs when you kill targets, so it doesn't really work in town on the dummy. We went with the Demon Eye ring. I think the devs need to do something with the other rings in the game. This ring is just insane. Again, +2 to all talents. Very easy ring to get. 5% life on hit on your auto attacks. Coupled with the weapon, again, almost 10% life per hit. 9% total to be exact. Okay. The Bottle of Sake, 8% crit chance and huge crit damage. I believe it's 50% crit damage. And the Assassin Shadow Boots, crit rate and 28% crit damage. These boots are just insane. I mean, if you're going for a crit rate, crit damage build, you'd be nuts not to use it. All right, and that's what we went with the meta. I'll show you the variants at the end of the build. At the end of the video, actually. All right, so for the follower, we went with the Poison Ivy, Shroud of Elements, and the Helm of the Dominator. Again, in all tests that we did with the Slate, the Wind Strike, Potency, you name it, Poison Ivy with the multi-shot, just way more damage across the board, and you actually see its true potential while doing a Wormhole. All right, do not sleep on this weapon. I know for some other classes, other weapons could be meta, especially with the Mercenary, but with what I've been testing so far, and just the quality of life inside the Wormhole, I would not pass up on using the Ranger with this setup. But you can do what you want to do, you know, what suits your play style, okay, in your class. Helm, we went with the Helm of the Dominator and stacked it with Dow Runes, again for the 66% attack speed. I didn't roll it to 115 or else it would be 74%. There's really no need to roll any items on your follower to 115, okay? So this is actually realistic with the exception of the Shroud of Elements, which is difficult to make. On the Shroud of Elements, the element actually that has no bearing on the meta build for the follower. The only thing that matters here is the elemental break. You want this number to be as high as possible. Elemental break again applies a 2 stacks of 50% break on the target, which increases the damage you deal to the target by 50%. Okay? And for relics, we went with this setup. You can take a picture of it. It's a pretty generic relic build. It's going to give you a lot of strength, attack speed, you know, quite a little bit of procs, all talents as well from the magic mushroom, ability to one-shot mobs inside the rift. The must oversized, so your turret radius is massive. All right, and then you have the monkey bar, the Amazon spear. Okay, and also I think to me the best relic in the game, the horned mask, to get the devil statue buffs from it. But there's the relics. On the talents, we went with heavy. Actually, we didn't go heavy. 50-50, but more so on the engineer tree. Okay, we went with, I'm going to just talk about the main abilities that actually make up the entire build. 20 points in multi-shot, so you can get this active ability. And then we put 20 points in rocket turrets, which adds rocket launchers to your multi-shot turrets, causing them to deal additional exploding AoE damage to targets. This is the reason why we coined the build rocket launchers. Okay, this gives you insane damage. And we went with 20 points in Master Mechanic to pick up the 41% damage and attack speed there. It lasts for 4 seconds. And then we went with 20 points in Arrow Rain. Huge damage. Like, the damage is crazy once you put 1 point in this, or 20, or if you don't put any points at all, you see a massive damage increase or loss if you don't take this. And then we went with 1 point in Agility to pick up the free 13.5% damage on the proc. So you have to put a point in this, I would. And then we went the rest in armor piercing rounds, which adds 32% armor break to the target. Okay, this is pretty huge while you're attacking. All right, we did test it with putting 20 points in agility, putting 20 points in armor piercing rounds. It did not yield more damage. I also tested it by putting 20 points in cluster bomb and putting 20 points in the gunner drone turrets. I think Wuxi needs to revisit this talent here. It's extremely underwhelming. The drones following you deals no damage. I mean, I think you could buff this by 500% and it still does no damage. So Wuxi, you might want to check on this. As well, safe space, just like the Demon Slayer, any talent right now that I'm coming across where it says the engineer, his turrets deal more damage the further you are from the enemy, just like we had it with the Demon Slayer in this talent tree here, does not work. You can be melee range, mid range, max range. The damage will be worse. The further you are, the worse the damage is. If you're at mid range, it gets a little better. If you're at melee range, with this ability maxed out, you actually deal more damage. The bottom line is, guys, the talent is broken. It's not working currently. And even when they balance it and fix it, like I told Wuxi, first of all, get it working. Second of all, you have to add dramatic damage for it to make sense. Because just like the Demon Slayer, right, the rocket launcher has a spread, a frontal cone. So the further you are, you're going to deal more damage, but the further you are, the spread will also be bigger, therefore, dishing out less damage. Yes, our attacks, I believe, are homing in on the target, just to make sure here. They do, and then no, they don't. As you can see here, see, only 2 is hitting, the other 2 is going by. So again, this is my reasoning as to why these further away talents are broken. First of all, they're not buffing any damage. And second of all, the further you are, the less chances of all your projectiles to hit the target because the cone spread is too far. So in order for this to make sense, you're already losing 2 rocket launches from hitting the target. You're missing 2 rocket launches from hitting the target. Only 1 is hitting it. So that single one would have to dish out a lot more damage for actually playing range to make sense. Okay, I don't know how they're going to do that. They might change the skill altogether. But, that's the reason why. You can't just buff the skill and make it work and think that it's going to work, because it's not. Hitting 1 turret, right, for, we'll say 100% more damage, okay, will probably be the same as the turrets being close range and all 3 of them hitting at, 5% or 20% damage. This needs to be reworked. Bottom line. Anyways, that's what we did with the talent. Sorry, for rambling on, guys. For the hero levels, we went with the trusty 50 points in ancient power, 50 points in critical damage, and the rest dump it into strength. I did try speed. I did try all of it into strength. It's less damage. You definitely want to go 50, 50, and then rest into strength. Let's do a damage test right now. I think I might be late on the turrets, but we'll go from there. So the rotation is you drop your 4 turrets, you pop your bottle of sake, and then you hold down your right mouse button and 2 and 3. You just press 2 and 3, and boom, you deal damage. There it is, 4.8 billion damage. Okay? Remember, your turrets decay over time, so you have to drop them again. So I'm going to reset the turrets here to make sure they don't run out during the test, because you don't want to be dropping turrets while you're doing a damage test and DPSing. Bottle of sake. All the other abilities are procced. 4.4 billion. On other tests, I was able to use the Book of Belial, but it seems like the editor is bugged still. Sometimes it's active, sometimes it's not. Alright, but while proccing Book of Belial and doing the test, I was able to achieve 6.1 billion damage on the dummy. Okay? Which is insane. It's the highest damage I've seen yet with testing at 200 hero levels, maxed out gear, and maxed out sockets and relics. It's the highest I've seen to date in the season. So the Marksman is really viable. Okay? I messaged Wooksy about it, and I know the last video I made with the Demon Slayer about a broken build disclaimer, when no build should actually be going over 5 billion. And I messaged Wooksy, and I'm waiting for his reply. So if the build is going to get tuned, I will let you guys know. But I gave him my opinion on it, and I have yet to receive his response. But I'm pretty sure he's going to share the same feelings as I do. If he does not, I will put it in the description below that the build will get slightly adjusted and tuned. And for some reason here I can't hit the 6 billion again either, so it is a very proc RNG chance for it to happen as well. But I will show you a clip of the 6.1 billion, you know, that I sent to Wooksy. So here's the test here that I sent to Wooksy, where I did 6.1 billion with the mix and matching of the runes. But it was probably just a lucky proc, like I said. There's the damage, there's the gear. We saw the talents, the mercenary. That's it. My disclaimer with this is this thing. The turrets are stationary. They have a radius around them. They're only going to attack mobs around it. The only reason why we're getting 6.1 billion on the dummy is because it's a stationary target, and all 4 turrets is attacking the dummy at the same time. When you're actually doing a wormhole, as you can see, you're going to have turrets spread out. So not all 4 turrets will always be hitting the same target at the same time. Okay? And you're going to be losing a lot of damage compared to other classes as you run around the map and you drop your turret and you wait for it to deal damage and prop your debuffs. So because of this instance and how this class plays, I think the Marksman is in a good spot. I think the damage is okay. But if Wooksy decides to tune it down, or he thinks it is, you know, slightly overtuned, I will let you guys know in the description below and what the damage potential will be after the changes, if he does any changes. But if he does not, this is what the meta build potential is with this build. Okay? So let me leave you, this is a point in the video where we leave you with some variants, and I'll show you that right now. You do not have to use the XQC. You can also use the Marksman bow, okay, and it will yield very good damage as well. I'll show you here. Hopefully we get a lucky proc. Again, you know, it's a very, you know, proc heavy. Actually, I wouldn't say as much proc heavy as the Paladin. 5 billion, you see? And that's with the Marksman bow. So the Marksman bow is really good as well. You can also use another variant, the Vampire Hunter. Okay? And then we'll change up the gear. Actually, we'll do a test with the Vampire Hunter, so that way we're not changing the bows too much. I think I have all 4 turrets down. I wish they added a buff on the icons to see how many turrets were down. 4 billion. Alright, we'll put on the meta gun now, and then we'll swap the gear around. We'll do the judge and jury, we'll do the rainbow, which is easy to acquire. We'll do the high demon necklace because it has +3 to all talents as well. But we'll do a high demon's necklace. We'll change the belt. I think the most I got was the tribal belt was pretty good. And then we'll put on, you know, Marksman's gloves. Huge crit damage as well. And then we'll put on the assassin, not the assassin boots. We'll do dark hide boots for the 40% physical. And we'll do a test with that. Oh, let me reset because I didn't drop the turrets. $2.1 billion, okay? That's still really good compared to other classes. It's insane. Alright, we'll do the assassins. We'll do Death's Grasp gloves, or War Master tribal gloves. We'll put on the monkey skin belt. The chest is like almost mandatory. Okay, I mean, I can show you the damage potential with the Shroud. Now we can do Rift Warrior Skull. And we'll put on the Marksman bow. 2.1 billion, guys, is still huge damage. $1.3 billion. Okay, it's still massive. So that's it for that build variant. Okay, but we tested all of these builds out, just so you guys know, and they're all really good. All right, so go out there and get it. You can see from the gear I have in the slots, you can pretty much make your own conclusion that all of these other sets, these other items are pretty good. Darkhide, Assassins, War Master, Death's Grasp gloves, Marksman hunting gloves. The chest, Gladiator, Demise, Dark Shroud, the Marksman hunting shroud's pretty good. The Marksman's quiver, the Torch of Shadows obviously is meta. Alright, the Judge, Jury, and Executioner. And then you have all these options, Rift, Ravenclaw, and High Demon Necklace. And then the gun, again, I already showed you guys. So you have very good, you have plenty of options when it comes to the Marksman. There you have it, guys. That's the Marksman Rocket Launchers build. Absolutely amazing build. Once again, guys, thank you very much for the overwhelming support you guys have shown me. It keeps inspiring me every day to create more content for you guys. I really appreciate it. All of your comments, all of your likes, your subscriptions. I see it all. I read it all. I'm trying to respond back to all of them as much as I can, while also trying to create content for you guys. Okay? Thank you once again, guys. As usual, do not forget to comment, like, and smash a subscribe button. And check us out on Twitch. Follow me there as well. Also, I went public on Twitter. Make sure you guys check me out. Give me some follows there. Show me some love. I appreciate everything you guys are doing for me as well. You guys take care. Until the next time, roll deep. Woo!